Well, we're back. And we're going to do a couple of things here. Kind of, in a nutshell, decided that since I don't need the voltmeter right now, I'm not going to fuss about the battery. It's not a big deal. And I did screw around and found that little clip. So, just for now, I popped it back in the bag. Well, I thought I did. Oh, it's better be in there. There it is. I think it was hanging on by like one lead. That's one of the downers about solid wire. You know, once it gets crimped, it's nice to form. You know, if you're laying it all out and stuff, works great for that. But once it gets kinked or it gets a little nick in it, then the party is kind of over. Well, we got some other things we can do anyway. One of the things we need to do is I need to... there's a couple caps in there that need to go bye-bye. Sometimes getting a radio to stand up straight can be a real bit of a challenge. One of the things you can do with those little clips on that kind of stuff, you know, is you could put a piece of heat shrink over the end, and that would toughen it up a little bit, make it a lot less, you know, susceptible. The other thing you could do is just be careful. So we need to get this one out of here. Looks like that one's... I'm just going to keep on marking things with a pencil here. Maybe that's not that one. Nope. Appears to be that one. And like I said, you can just wipe that off at the fingertip. I'm going to heat that up. I was looking in a box and did find another pair of shears. They look a little tougher. They're not like the scissors I had. These are, I believe, like pruning shears. They might be a little more appropriate for maybe clipping some of this wire. I'm going to give it a try. You don't really realize how often you use stuff like that until you don't have it floating around. Okay. Well, I just paused you there a little bit. I was talking with John on the phone, not John the carpenter, and I was telling him that he was banned from bothering me or annoying me while I was doing this video on this radio, which is funny. And he said that he had some clippers he would trade me. And I thought, well, you know, that would be in the spirit of this. So he came by and traded me a little trinket for this. I had in some of the junk I got at the garage sale the other day, there was some stuff just thrown in there. And there were like 3 or 4 new 16th inch drill bits in a little package, which at this point in time I really didn't have any use for. But he did. So... in the spirit of finding things at garage sales, he traded me, which trading I think it kind of fits in there. If it doesn't, let me know. I think it kind of fits in the spirit. We still haven't spent any money, and he drove across town, not me. So, let's see here. We need to get... This is kind of interesting. These two caps are in parallel. They both join up right there. but they've been spot welded onto the chassis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bite them out of circuit. You can't help but know where they are. And I really don't care what happens to them. These are all old and gooey, and they're 0.3 at 600 volt type something. I don't think these even have a brand name on them, and they're just a gooey, gunky mess. Made in the U.S. Okay, but there's no brand. Tell you how sticky they are. They're pretty yucky. That's okay. So we got the soldering iron heating back up. We'll get out the old solder here. How we doing? Yeah, it's getting warmed up. Yeah, we get out the needle nose we got a hold of. So we're doing pretty good. We got a reasonable amount of tools. A little Sharpie here. It's kind of some junk. Sometimes you got to take home a little crap to get some gold. But sometimes that stuff that looks like crap turns into gold. So you got to watch what you're doing. One of the things I did, I was just getting ready to turn this back on. I was talking to John, and he kind of came over and was just puttering around. He goes, "God, the tuning is really stiff on that radio." I said, "Yeah, it's kind of a wreck. I need to oil it a little bit." I got out this 10,000-year-old. This is actually an old Maytag branded oil. They used to sell household oil. This is back when they used to have Maytag engines, and they used to sell oil to put in the gasoline for the engines. Those engines were two-stroke, and they packaged household oil, and this still has some in there. So I put a couple drops of 10,000-year-old oil, which is fine. It's fine. It's been capped up. I put a few drops here and down here on the little wheel. And on this side, and that baby loosened right up. So it's not so stiff now. Okay. So we're making a little progress, and again, that came from a garage sale, estate sale. That one came from a estate sale. Okay, so let's see here. So we're gonna go. We're gonna get a twofer here. There are two leads here. And hopefully we can get these out without too much of a fight. And we'll try and zoom in a little bit here. Zoom in, zoom out, wax on, wax off. You're watching this, you had to try and do one of these one time on YouTube. It's a bit of a challenge. You know, you'd like to have this look reasonably good. Yeah, about that. This is really stuck in there. Yeah, that's why. Okay. Looks like what happened was on this side, I think one of these leads has gotten bent over. Maybe I can get one of these other ones to come out. I'm afraid to overheat this because if I do, it might break, and I don't. Okay, there we go. I got one out, so now maybe the other will come out without too much of a fight. I kind of rolled it up on that needle nose body there. That is not gonna give up without a fight. Why is it being such a pain in the butt? Let's see here. Well, I'm going to take the tube actually out. That's a 12 BA6. It's an IF. Oh, here we go. There's a bear. I need to look at that a little closer. And he kind of drifted away there. Sorry about that. See why that's such a pain. Well, part of the reason is those caps or those parts are just crammed in there. Okay, so that's 0.05 or 0.047 in the real world. And this cap will work just ducky. Well, what we can do is we'll kind of lay that in there. Let's do a little lead dress. Okay. So we'll bend it around that pin, maybe? How's that look? Yeah, not bad. And maybe bend that over about there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We can get that back in there without a fight. Yeah, there we go. That might work. Okay, we'll get out the old needle nose. And do a little soldering iron, do a little heating. That went in. Kind of like that. Maybe I'll tug that through. How'd that come out? Oh, that looks cute. Well, cute. I don't know. Cute. Just, there we go. Yeah, we'll flip that baby over. That came out pretty good. It's gonna nip just a little bit off the end there. Okay, so we're back. And kind of made a little nice bend there. Now I don't know if you can see this, probably not. Well, first off, there's no way that small soldering iron is going to solder that. You could, I left a little tail there, you could like wrap that around there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. That's actually been spot welded. They tried a couple, 3 times before they got it to take. Well, I wonder if that Weller soldering gun we got will get hot enough to... Well, we'll try the soldering gun. Now, I haven't really played with this very much. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the tip up a little bit. I'm going to get a flare nut wrench, or a brake wrench, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to loosen and tighten those a couple times. Make sure we got good contact. Well, I need something to stand this baby up on. That would work. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is kind of figure about where that lead would go. Pretty much over in the corner. I'm going to bend a little foot on that baby. And bend it the other way. A little Z there. Okay, I kind of use the tip of the pliers to kind of scratch that up, and we're going to take and put a little dab of flux on there from the flux can here. We want a good connection there, and I'm going to leave the flux on the end of the solder there. I just want to make a little puddle of solder on the chassis here to solder that lead to. Okay, we're going to see if we can do that. I'm going to tin that tip, just straighten it up a little bit. I'm going to tin that tip a little bit. And okay. Get her good and warm and see if we can melt us a little puddle there. This is a pretty good trick. That chassis is pretty big. A little bead of solder there. Okie dokie, that worked. So between cleaning the gun and scraping it, putting a little flux on there, and letting it get good and hot, it's all back together. Now what I can do is I can take an old craft knife or something and trim that. Actually, you know what I could do is I'm just going to see if I can break that old lead off. It's just spot welded on there. Sometimes those spot welds, yeah, they aren't really on there that great. Yeah, cleaned her right off there. Lily, go on. Shoot. Being a cat in the butt. or a pain in the cap. Okay. Well, I got one cap left. I don't know what that is. It's cleverly hidden. It's really in there kind of tight. Yeah, it's going to be another clip me out. And okay. Well, we're doing pretty good. Well, maybe we need to figure out what to do with this baby. Well, it's got to go bye-bye, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and beat the rush, tear it out of there. It's not going to get any better. It's pretty easy to figure out what goes on. Okay, so here's what it is. Oh, it actually is a General Electric part. It is 52 sections, 50 microfarad, and it's been in there a long time. You can see it's getting squeezed. I wonder if that's covered with pitch.